Hi, I'm Dominique Charpentier. I work as a full-time composer and I'm here to help you with tips for aspiring composers. Today's tip, number 5, is about music marketing. So, as you may know, music is art, but it's also an industry. And you create a form of art, but you also sell a product. So you have to be a salesman or woman as well as being an artist. So maybe that's something that you're not very comfortable with, but that's something you have to accept if you want to live from your music. So the first step to do that is to identify your market. So to understand who are your clients. So I know they are also your fans, of course, but you know it's like a doctor. You say patient and not clients, but actually for me it's the same. That's people who like what you do and who need what you do and who want to pay for what you propose, being a service or a product or something. And then you have to understand how, when and where they use the music. So where can you sell your music? I think the obvious place would be the streaming services where nowadays people use and consume music. So that means Spotify, Apple Music, all the other services. Then you also have the services where you can download the music. So for example, you can buy a digital single or digital album. So I think, for example, of Bandcamp. And you also have places where you can sell your merchandising. So it would be either your website, your own website, or a website like Shopify or Bandcamp, where you can sell your music sheets, CDs, vinyls, t-shirts, anything you want. Then another places where you can sell your music, it's the synchronization platform or editors. So that means that you will earn money from the use of your music in ads or in films, things like that. Then, of course, you'll have the live concerts. So when you play a gig and you're paid for your concert. And also you can make money with merchandising when you finish the concerts. And you also have money that you can have from the pros, you know, the performing rights organizations. So you need to be signed with one of these in your country. And then you'll have all the social media, so the videos on YouTube, TikTok, everything else. So that's a list of more or less the main revenue income of your music and the places where you can sell your music. But the video of today, I think we will focus on the main place where you can sell your music. So it would be the streaming platforms and also the digital downloads and merchandising. And then, of course, feel free to comment on this video, and then I will make new videos about all the things I mentioned before to be more precise, more specific about each of this potential revenue income. So if we come back to the beginning of the video where I was explaining that your music is also a product, we can, if you're not very comfortable with that, I can make a quick example about this to make you understand better what I mean. So for example, if you make beer, if you're a brewer, you know, you will make a product that people use and consume every day. Maybe not every day, but you know, on a regular basis, and something that they use that's very useful, because it's like if you make bread or something that you eat. But the example with the beer is better. You understand why in a few minutes. So if I make beer, I will make a very nice beer. I will make the most to have something very, very nice and that people will like, okay? But then I have to sell it. So I will have to sell first the visual identity. So I will make a nice artwork for the can beer. And this will attract the people coming in the shop to buy the beer. So if you have just a black can, it's not very interesting, I think. But if you have, for example, a very colorful artwork on the beer with a lot of nice designs, maybe you will think, okay, this is more interesting. Maybe I will try this one, and you will take the can and then read the text, and then you will have like a kind of storytelling about the beer. So who is the brewer, why he or she does that, etc., etc. So that's an example with the beer, but it could be with the bread, you know, the same thing, anything, something. Think about something that you consume every day or every week, for example. So you have to do the same with music, because today it's actually the same, because people consume music every day, you know, on Spotify, Apple Music. They listen to the music on their smartphone. So it's more or less the same. So you will have to use the same strategies as somebody making craft beer or good bread, you know. So I think I thought about 3 things to help you do that, 3 very practical tips. So I think the first one is to be sure that your music will be everywhere. So that means on Spotify, Apple Music, but also all the other streaming services. Or even if you don't know them, maybe just do some research, and you'll see that there are also some streaming services in Asia, in China, which are not the same as in the USA, for example. So you want to be there also. So to do that, you need to find a distributor. So for example, I use DistroKid, which is very cheap, and they don't take any percentage on your royalties. So I think that's awesome. But you have a lot of other possibilities. You have TuneCore, CD Baby, and a lot of other services. So you just can Google it, and you look for a music distributor, and you will find a lot of solutions, and you can choose the one you prefer. Then, once you have your, say for example, you want to release a single or an album, then I think the second step, it will be to make a schedule release. So you can't just make a post, you know, the day of the release and say, hey, I just released a new single, go listen to it on Spotify. No, that's not how you do, because it's not interesting, and you know, people won't go to listen to the single. You need to sell the music before the day of the release. So that's why you need a schedule plan, you know, for a release schedule plan for the release. So that means making teasers and contents. And that's where we are arriving now. The third step would be to create contents to promote your release. So that means once you have your release schedule, you can then release the content you've created little by little. So which contents? So you can have first, of course, the artwork. So when you release the music, you will need an artwork to put on the streaming services. Then you will need photos, or maybe you can say one photo. So it can be a photo of you playing the track or singing the song, of you in the studio, whatever you want. Then a video would be nice. preferably a video when we can see your face, you know, because that's what the audience like. Or it could be a video of you performing your song. Also, it could be just an extract. Then you will need a kind of text of storytelling. So that means something that you write to attract the audience. So it doesn't have to be something fake, you know, just you can start with your honest thoughts about your track, explain what was the inspiration, where you composed it, a lot of things like that, and that's it. It doesn't have to be fake things, you know. I think it's better to have real, honest storytelling, but just try to make it nice, you know. Like, for example, if you're selling bread, you won't say, okay, it's an okay bread, some people like it, so do you want to try it? No, you won't say that. You will say, it's awesome, I worked a lot to make this bread, and just try it, it will be awesome, it will change your life, maybe. You will say it like this, you know. So that's the same with music, just do the same. And another content that you could create would be a review. So just try to contact blogs specialized in your genre of music and try to have a review, and maybe you can use it before the release or after the release. So these are the 3 steps, I think, that will help you market your music. So be sure to be everywhere, make a release schedule, and then create content to publish before the release and after also, if you want. So, as you know, I want these videos to be very practical, to help you. So I will finish with a practical example, and I will focus on the streaming release and the merchandising, because I talked about other revenue income sources, but I will make new videos about this if you want. But today I think it's better to focus on one thing, and the main thing that nowadays is important for artists. So that would be the streaming and the merchandising, I think. At least at the beginning, if you're just a beginner, you know. So what you can do now, if you have a single ready, so just make sure that it's technically perfect. I mean, that the sound is has the same quality as the other ones that you can listen on the streaming platforms. And then you could make a release schedule for this. So, for example, we will take an example with a single. And after I finished explaining it, maybe you can just do that with your next single. Do all the steps. And I'm pretty sure it will help you if you didn't do that for the previous releases. Because I see a lot of artists that just do the minimum marketing, and I think that's not enough. At least at the beginning. Of course, then when you are famous and you already have a big fan base, maybe you don't need to work that much, you know, for the marketing. But at the beginning, yes, you do. So this is a proposition of a release schedule. So say, for example, you will release a single in a month. So maybe what you could do to promote it a little bit is make a release schedule for 1 month, a little bit more. So for example, first week, you could make the announcement saying, I will release a new single, that's the title, and you could also put the artwork. So that would be your first week, the first step of promoting the single. And you put it on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere, you know. Then, week number 2, what you could do is put a photo or more photos, like maybe you did a shooting with a good photograph, or just your boyfriend or girlfriend shots the pictures. So you could do that, something like in the studio, for example. It could be a behind the scene photos, for example, you know, saying, that's the piano I used to compose this track. I will release in 3 weeks. So that could be your week number 2. Then week number 3, so it would be 1 week before the release. You could post a link to a review of a blog. So if you manage to have a review of a music blog, you could post that, and that creates interest, because it means that other people listen to your single and they say something about it, single or album or EP or whatever. And then that's the day of the release, and the day of the release you could use your best promotion tool, I think. That would be the video, because that's what people want to see nowadays. So maybe post that the day of the release everywhere, on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere. You post the video of you performing the track or singing the track, or maybe it can be you saying, I just released the album, go listen to it on Spotify, with a few more interesting things, And then the week after the release, you could make, for example, a thank you post saying, thank you, the response to my new single has been awesome, something like that, Something honest, of course, no bullshit, And, or you could also, if you have merchandising, send a link saying, if you made CDs, the CDs are ready, you can go to this link to buy it. Or maybe if you are a beginner, probably you won't have CDs to sell, so that's fine. You can sell, for example, if you know how to write music, you can sell music sheets. So, for example, I know that's something I sell a lot for the piano players, But it could be something else, something you can make t-shirts, whatever you want. That's a possibility. So, as you can see, it's not that difficult, just a few steps, and you have a consistent release schedule, something that will interest your audience and that will tease them, So week 1, you will release something. That's interesting. I want to see more. I want to know more. I can't wait to listen to the single. And then week 2, and then week 3, and this little by little, the audience is more attracted to the release day, and they will go to listen to the track, So that's my advice about music marketing. That's just a short video about it. It's there are a lot of things to say about music marketing, but I wanted this video to be not too long and to be really for beginners or for artists, because I know a lot of artists who are not beginners, but they don't do a lot of music marketing, and I think just using these steps could help a lot to gain visibility and to gain new fans and to have more audience, everywhere. But I will, of course, make more videos about this. Just leave what you think in the comments. Feel free to ask for something more specific. If you want me to make a video about Spotify, marketing, anything you want, just ask, and I will think about it and try to make a video about this. And of course, if you like what you see, you can subscribe to my channel, because I will do more videos like this. You can hit the notification button, and thank you for watching, and see you next time.